Hello everyone, I'm Utkasha Soni and today's topic is planning. Planning is deciding in advance what to do and how to do. It is one of the basic managerial functions. Before doing something, the manager must formulate an idea of how to work on a particular task. Thus, planning is closely connected with creativity and innovation. But the manager would first have to set objectives. Only then he will be able to know where he has to go. Planning seeks to bridge the gap between where we are and where we want to go. So, planning is what managers at all levels do. It requires taking decisions since it involves making choices from alternative course of actions. So, planning does involve setting objectives and developing appropriate courses of action to achieve those objectives. Objectives provide direction for all managerial decisions and actions. A mobile phone company sets an objective to sell around 2 lakh units next year, which is double the current sales. So, planning is essentially focused on the future, and there are certain events which are expected to affect the policy formulation. So, the plan that is developed has to have a given time frame, but time is a limited source. So, it needs to be utilized carefully. If a time factor is not taken into consideration, condition in the environment may change and all business plans may go west. So planning will be fertile exercise. It is not acted upon or implemented. Do you think from the above we can formulate a comprehensive definition of planning? Yeah. So one of the ways to do would be define planning as setting objective for a given period of a time and formulating various courses of action to achieve them and then selecting the best possible alternative from among the various courses of actions available. So now let's discuss the importance of planning. So you must have seen in films and advertisements how executives draw up plans and make a powerful presentation in boardrooms. So do those plans actually work? Does it improve efficiency? After all, why should we plan? So these are numerous questions to which we would like to find solutions. So planning is certainly important as it tells where to go. It provides direction and reduces the risk of uncertainty by preparing forecast. So the major benefits of planning are given. First is planning provides direction. So by setting in advance how work is to be done, planning provides direction for action. Planning ensures that the goals or objectives are clearly stated so that they can act as a guide for deciding what action should be taken and in which direction. If goals are well defined, employees are aware of what organization has to do and what they must do to achieve those goals. Second is planning reduces the risk of uncertainty. Yeah. So planning is an activity which enables a manager to look ahead and anticipate changes. So by deciding in advance the tasks to be performed, planning basically showing the way to deal with the changes and uncertain events. So changes or events cannot be eliminated, but they can be anticipated and managerial responses to them can be developed. Next is planning reduces overlapping and wasteful activities. Planning serves as a basis of coordinating the activities and efforts of different divisions, departments, and individuals. So it helps in avoiding confusion and misunderstanding. So since planning ensures clarity in thought and action, work is carried on smoothly without any interruptions. So useless and the wasteful activities are already minimized or eliminated. So now it is easier to detect any inefficiencies and take a corrective actions or measures to deal with them. Next is planning promotes innovative ideas. So as I told you before, planning is the first foremost function of management. So here the new ideas can take a shape of a concrete plan. So it's the most challenging activity for the management as it guides all future actions leading to growth and prosperity of business. Next is planning facilitates decision making. Planning helps a manager to look into the future and make a choice from various alternatives courses of action. The manager has to evaluate each alternative and select the most viable proposition. Planning basically involves setting up the targets and predicting future condition, thus helping in taking rational decisions. Planning establishes standards for controlling. Planning involves setting of goals. The entire managerial process is concerned with accomplishing predetermined goals through planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. Planning provides the goals or standards against which actual performance is measured. So by here comparing actual performance with some standard, manager can know whether they have actually been able to attain the goals. If there's any deviation, so it can be corrected. So let's take an example of one of the company, that is Polaris. So their objective is to increase their capacity so that they can employ around 800 more professionals. So the target time is 6 months, and the objective of the current year has also been clearly stated, which is an increase of a capacity by 1500 to 2000 more professionals. So since planning is the primary function of management, so they have to set their objectives first. Does all businesses follow a same pattern, the set of pattern of planning? You will be able to find some similarities in a features of planning and what we see in a real life. So you just need to try and identify them. So as I'm saying, there are different kind of features, but somewhere somehow there are some similarities also. So here the planning function of management has a certain specific features. As you can see, these features throw light on its nature and scope. So the first one is planning basically focuses on achieving objectives. So as I told you before, objectives are the foremost thing which we do. So organizations are set up with a general purpose in view. Specific goals are set out in a plan along with activities to be undertaken to achieve the goals. So planning is purposeful. Planning has no meaning unless it contributes to the achievement of predetermined organizational goals. Second thing is planning is primary function of management. Planning lays down the base for other function of management. All other managerial functions are performed within the framework of the plans drawn. This planning precedes other functions. This is also referred to as primacy of planning. The various functions of management are interrelated and equally important. However, planning provides a basis of all other functions. Next is planning is pervasive. So since as I told, it required at all levels of management as well as in all departments of the organization, it is not an exclusive function for only for top level management. It's not like that, not of any particular department, but the scope of planning differs at different levels and among different departments. Like example, like top level management undertakes planning for the organization as whole, whereas middle level management does the departmental planning, and lowest level they do the day-to-day operational planning, which is being conducted by supervisors. Next thing, planning is continuous. So plans are prepared for a specific period of a time that we know. Maybe it can be of month or maybe for a quarter or a year. At the end of that time period, there is need for a new plan to be drawn on the basis of a new requirements and future conditions. Hence, planning is continuous process. So continuity planning is related with the planning cycle. So it means that a plan is framed, it is implemented, and is followed by another plan, and so on it goes. So it's a continuous one. Next, planning is futuristic. So planning is essentially involves looking ahead and preparing for the future. So, the purpose of planning is to meet future events effectively to the best advantage of an organization. So, it implies peeping into the future, analyzing it, predicting it. So, therefore, planning is regarded as forward-looking function. So, it based on the forecast, based on the production prediction. So, the forecasting the future events and condition are anticipated and plans are drawn accordingly. Thus, for example, like sales forecasting is the basis on which a business firm prepares annual plan for production and sales. Next is planning involves decision making. So, planning essentially involves choices from various alternatives and activities. So, if there is any only one possible goal or a possible course of action, there is no need of planning because there is no choice. The need of planning arises only when alternatives are available. In actual practice, planning, existence of alternative, it includes existence of alternatives. So, thus, it involves the thorough examination and evaluation of each alternative and choosing the best possible one or appropriate one. So, since it involves a decision making, lots of mental exercise, so we can say that planning is a mental exercise. It requires application of mind involving foresight, intelligent imagination, using your creativity, innovation. So, this all required to make a sound planning judgment. So, it is basically an intellectual activity of thinking rather than doing. So, because planning determines the action to be taken, however, planning requires logical and systematic thinking rather than guess or wishful thinking. So, in other words, thinking for planning must be orderly and based on analysis of facts and forecast. So, that's all about the features of planning. Now, let's see what are the limitations of planning. So, we have seen till now that what's essential, why the planning is very much essential for business organizations. It is difficult to manage operation without a formal planning. So it is important for an organization to move towards achieving goals, but we have often seen in our daily life also that things do not always go according to the plan because there's always some unforeseen events and changes which took place, maybe like a rise in a cost or in prices, maybe environmental changes like this COVID-19, and like government intervention, like legal regulations, and other different kinds of changes which actually affects your entire plan, and specifically if you're talking about business plan. So plans then need to be modified. If we cannot depend totally upon the plan, why do we plan at all, right? So there are certain limitations which we need to discuss about the planning. So the limitation, first one, planning leads to rigidity. So in an organization, a well-defined plan is drawn up with the specific goals to be achieved without a specific time frame. So this plan then decide a future course of action, and managers may not be in the position to change it. So this kind of rigidity in plans may create a difficulty. So here the manager need to be very flexible and need to know how to cope with the environmental changes and the changes in the circumstances. So following a pre-decided plan when circumstances have changed may not turn out to be your organization's interest. So this is one of the limitation, that it leads to the rigidity. Second thing is planning may not work in a dynamic environment. Yeah, because environment is not a constant thing, it's a dynamic. So it consists of number of dimensions: economic, political, physical, legal, social dimensions. So here the organization has to adapt itself to all these changes. So it really becomes very much difficult to accurately assess future trends in the environment if economic policies are modified, or political conditions in a country are not stable, or there is a natural calamity, or competition in a market can also upset a financial plan. So sales targets may have to be revised, and accordingly cash budgets also need to be modified, since they are everything is based on the sales figure. So planning cannot foresee everything. So this is one of the obstacle about the effective planning, that environment is so much dynamic. Next is planning is time consuming process. Yeah, sometimes plans to do drawn up to take so much of time that there is no much time left for the implementation. We just keep our busy with the planning. So last thing is planning does not guarantee the success. So the success of enterprise is possibly only when plans are properly drawn and implemented. So if you're just making a plan and you're not doing the implementation, so you cannot guarantee the success. So any plan needs to be translated into action for the success. So manager have a tendency to, rely on a previously tried and tested successfully plans. It is also always true that, just because of a plan, you got succeed. So that's all about the limitation of planning. Now let's see the process of planning. So how we do the planning? What is the process of planning? So as we all know, planning is something which we do in advance. What to do, how to do. We just need to know, and it's a process of decision making. So how do we go without about making a plan? So since planning is an activity, there are certain logical steps which you need to follow for better planning. So let's starting with the first one. The first step is setting objectives. So the first and the foremost step in setting plan is setting objective. So every organization must have certain objectives, and objectives may be set for entire organization and each department or unit within the organization. So these objectives and goals are specify what organization want to achieve. So it could mean like they want increase in a sales by 20%, which could be objective of entire organization. So now how departments would contribute to this particular organizational goal, they will make their own separate plans. So objectives should be stated clearly to all departments and units, and this all the employees, so that they can form their own plans. They give direction to other departments. So here department and units, they need to set their own objectives within the broad framework of the organizational philosophy. Next thing is developing premises. So planning is concerned with the future which is uncertain, and every planner is using conjecture about what might happen in future. So therefore the manager is required to make certain assumption about future. These assumptions are called premises. Assumptions are the basis material upon which plans are to be drawn. So the base material may be in a form of a forecast, existing plans, or any past information about policies. The premises or assumption must be same for all, and there should be a total agreement on them. All managers involved in planning should be familiar with and use the same assumption. For example, like forecasting is important in developing premises, as it is a technique of gathering information. And forecast can be also be made about the demand for a particular product, policy changes, interest rates, prices of capital goods, tax rates. Accurate forecasts therefore really become essential for successful planning. Next step is identifying alternative courses of action. See here, once your objective is set, all your assumptions are made. Now the next step is to act upon. So there may be many ways to act. Now we need to achieve our objectives. All the alternative courses of action need to be identified. So the course of action which may be taken could be either a routine or an innovative. An innovative course may be adopted by involving more people and sharing their ideas. If the project is important, then more alternatives should be generated and thoroughly discussed among the members of the organization. Next is evaluating the alternative courses. So here we have designed the alternative courses. Right now we need to evaluate each and every one. We need to set up their pros and cons of each alternative. So here each course will have many variables which have to be weighed against each other. So the positive and negative aspects of each proposal need to be evaluated in the light of the objective to be achieved. So in financial plans, for example, the risk return or trade-off is very common. So the more risky the investment, the higher the returns. That's how it goes like. So to evaluate such proposals, detailed calculation of earnings, EPS, like that's earning per share, interest, taxes, dividends, this all decisions need to be made. Next step is selecting an alternative. So this is a real point of a decision making because the best plan has to be adopted and implemented. So the ideal plan, of course, would be most feasible, profitable, and the least negative consequences. Most plans may not always be subjected to mathematical analysis. In such cases, subjectivity and the managerial experience, judgment, and at a times, so intuition play a very important role at this point of a time because here you need to select the most viable alternative. Sometimes a combination of plan may also be selected instead of just selecting the single one. Here the manager will have to apply all the permutation combination to select the best possible action. Next is implementing the plan. So this is a step where other managerial functions come into the action, come to the picture, where the step is concerned totally about making a plan into action. So that is doing what is required. For example, if there is a plan is increasing about the production, then more labor, more machinery will be required. So this step involves organizing for labor and purchase of machinery. And the last thing which we will do is follow-up action. So this is the last step plus the first step for the next cycle of planning. Here to see whether the plans are being implemented and activities are performed accordingly to schedule is also a part of our planning process. So here we are doing the monitoring. The plans is equally important to ensure that the objectives are achieved. So that's what about the monitoring of the plan. And then here the planning process gets end, but again the one more cycle starts. So this is since the planning is a very continuous process, so it keep on going and going. So guys, now here there's one case study on planning which I would like to discuss. Just I will read for you. A company is manufacturing garment and the manager wants to increase profit by purchasing new high-speed machines or increasing the sales price or using waste material in manufacturing stuffed toys. So he decided that using waste material to increase the profit is the best solution for him. So you just need to identify the concept of management involved here in this particular case. Second, mention the steps involved in the above process by quoting the line from the question. And the third question is to complete the process of the concept identified in. And tell me the next two steps does the managers have to take. Explain, kindly explain this. Okay guys, now I will just show you the solution of this particular case. So here the question number 1 was about the concept used is obviously it's a planning because here we are taking a decision. Then steps involved, obviously just we discussed about the steps involved in the planning. We first of all we set the objectives. Objective was increasing profit in this particular case and developing a premises. So here we are making certain assumptions about the future, then identifying alternative course of action. So here we had a 3 option like purchasing a new high-end speed machine, then increase the sale price and using a waste material in manufacturing stuffed toys. And then we evaluated and then we selected the best alternative. So this particular process was planning. And then we also formulated a derivative plans and implementing the plans and follow up the action. That's all. Thank you so much.